strong. Please make your feet
Still going strong. Still going strong.
Good morning. It is so good to see you and to be in the house of the Lord. Sitting on the front row. This is where my life began here in St. Vincent. It's sitting on the front row at the St. Vincent Baptist Chapel up the road. And you know, it is such a blessing to be back. And it was an amazing time yesterday to give thanks for what the Lord did through our Father down over Street. But what I'm here to tell you is that God doesn't just work in one or two people. He works in all of our lives. And I want to share with you my testimony because God's work in my life began right here in St. Vincent. I was 7 years old when we moved here. And I remember when I was about 8 or 9, my sister Kelly, she actually came to our dad and said, "Hey Dad, you're out visiting everybody. Can you come visit me?" And so my dad came into our bedroom and visited Kelly and shared with her the gospel. And Kelly became a believer and followed in baptism. But she's my younger sister. And so I remember there was times that people at church say, "Oh, so Kelly's baptized. She's a Christian. What about you, Keri?" I was stubborn. I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, it's not my time. It's not my time." And see, I had to come to the realization that I wasn't just going to be a Christian or a follower of Jesus because my family came to church. And it was a Sunday night in January 1979, sitting on the front row, that God called me to Him. And it was then that I responded in obedience. And I can't believe it. Actually, it was January 29th, which is tomorrow, 1979, that I was baptized at Indian Bay. I mean, it was just like that. 45 years ago, right? 45 years ago. But what I can't help but sitting here weeping, especially with that song, I want to tell the world of His mercy. I want to tell the world of His love. Because at that time, I didn't know what God was going to do in my life. And there's some children sitting in this room. Many of you have children. That's the beginning of you testifying to the glory of God. Begin with your children. That's who you go to. And then, you know, as we left St. Vincent, to be honest with you, as a 10-and-a-half-year-old, I didn't understand why we had to leave. And there was hurts going on and different dynamics going on. And I was kind of mad at God. How great it is to be here, life is good, you know? And so where I didn't lose my faith, I let my faith stagnate. And it wasn't until I was 19 years old that I surrendered fully to Him as Lord of my life. Not just as my Savior, but Lord of my life. And then I would get asked all the time, "Oh, are you going to be a missionary like your dad?" Oh, no. Not me. Guess what? When I was 29 years old, I was a single woman, and I went to be a missionary in Istanbul, Turkey. And I was able to share the gospel and live my life for Him there for 2 years. And then I returned to America, and thank the Lord, I met my husband, who also had a call to missions. And so together now, we're serving in Birmingham, England. We served in Ethiopia for a few years, and then we're now serving in Birmingham, England. And we started a church a couple years ago. And we're in those very small stages as this chapel was. So to sit here today and to be reminded, this is where God began a good work in me. And so today, if you're sitting in here, don't dismiss what God's doing in your life. Don't dismiss what He's doing in our children. Don't dismiss the need to share the good news. And don't just say, "That's Pastor Richard's job. That's the music team's job. I'm going to come worship and then I'll be back next Sunday." But be a part of what God's doing here. Be a part of it. And I'm so thankful that I could join you today and be a part of worshiping together. And I don't know if I'll get to come back again here, but I'm going to see you in heaven. And our joy will continue to overflow.